that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. Beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
What I do? Lace up my shoes, chase W's. Great colored coops. Oh no, I can't be number 2. MVP the league most valuable. They sweet as apple juice. Talking trophies, I didn't grab the few. Can't match this attitude. I wear my heart on my sleeve, please. I move like the wind, can't catch this breeze, freeze. Stop you in your tracks, it's not no preseason. We seeking W's like Tupac used to throw up. Forget it, might as well forfeit. Your team shouldn't even show up. What you wanna be when you grow up? They used to ask me. Naturally, I chose an athlete. Competition never matched me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop. It's a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback.
All right, Coach. First opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Check 15. Check. Yellow.
Move.
Check my 40.
Hey, Echo.
Throwing, Cousins. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
I can't believe they even let you.
Hey, 382, lane 50.
Alert 3.
Clark.
He's coming. We got double up.
Quaker Omaha.
25. Check 25. Hatchet.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Check tight.
Gun.
First carry now for Jordan Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
The hut. 180.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
2.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
One shot.
Cousins. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked them, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On 2nd down and 4. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The number 1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he takes us just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Ready? 53. Mike. I'm here all day.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On the ready. Mike spoke forward. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Check now.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. A little bit of space there for the first down run as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Jonathan Jones there to make the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
On 2nd down now. It's Howard, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Hey, orbit.
Cousins from the gun on third. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Jamie Gillen now on to punt. Here's more on the return. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 45-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down.
And the Ravens first down.
Come on, set. 15 on it. 15 on it. 53. Line 53. It's been a long game.
Now a first down carry. It's Hill. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Jackson. And a little floater there is incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 54.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Browns' drive about to get started, and the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 17-yard line.
Switch up, switch up.
First.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
It's a nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Running with Howard. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Floyd brought him down. No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line.
$10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Browns nothing.
Can't.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins, and that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, fighting his way into the backfield.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. And that'll set them back 5. Here's Jamie Gillendow as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Returning it is Moore. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 40-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Throwing on 2nd down. Jackson being chased out left. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to launch this thing. Wait it. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Y'all playing the wrong foot. Hey, we're good. Hey, Charlie.
Check 48's the mic.
Here we go.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Yellow.
Mike 48.
Cousins now. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
A first red zone opportunity for the Browns thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cousins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
Now it's Jackson. That one complete to Hill. It's a foot race. 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Justice Hill, 92 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, they were back in the shadows of their own goalpost, and that flipped quickly.
So much for playing it safe. I mean, the conservative, easy call, run the football, take care of it, create some space, pump the ball away. But no, let's throw it. And sometimes a defense's aggressiveness is used against them because when you've got people backed up, your natural inclination is to try and really force them back, and sometimes they get burned that way.
And they got burned there. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Mike 48, Mike 48.
Two.
D, tighten up. Let's go, D, tighten up. Switch.
Running from the gun with Howard. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment.
Gun.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Hey, yo.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Ferguson gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now. Here's Jamie Gillendown as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and that will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 48-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson, they go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, a bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. They're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You've got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, we got four there.
And the third quarter starts with a run by Ingram. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Pull it together. Show it.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? It looks like they're ready to go.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him yet again. That is his 3rd sack tonight. They can't figure him out. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Landry now on the return. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Gun.
Bumps up the helmet. Here we go. Hey, Mike 51. 300. What's the pass? Let's go. Mike.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Willie Snead, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And they're able to up the lead by one more.
Makes the score Ravens 31, Browns nothing. Justin
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw is Cousins, eluding the pressure right. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Now Howard. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 40 now on 2nd down, Cousins. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle, and if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Set, hut. 10, Tuscan. 3. Ricky.
They'll go with Hill here on first down. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They toss to Ingram. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
53, Mike 53. Bring it.
Jackson, option right. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. They'll try to pound it in with Hill. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice Hill with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to pour it on. Tucker now to add the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to... warm up a little bit over on the sideline.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Go.
Check 48's the mic. Check.
Hey, Delta. Ready.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete. The former first-round pick Marlon Humphrey there to get a hand on it.
Marlon Humphrey on the cover.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
40's Mike. Not here. Leo. Lee Griffin.
Operating from the gun, Nicholson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Ferguson, his 2nd sack of the night.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Jamie Gillendown. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, In the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL.
There goes Mark Ingram. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
25-yard line.
Okay, ready?
The Browns drive about to get started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Ken Crowley. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. When the rookie QB gets his first touchdown pass, that's one you put in the trophy case. First career interception, that's going to be one he wants to forget.
Yeah, and he's not going to go ask for the football, right? Yeah, you can keep that one. The key for him, what does he learn from it? When he watches the tape, does he have an answer right now where he already understands what mistake he made? That's what the coaches are going to want to know, and that's what they'll grill him on and see how he grows from it.
This is Hill on the draw play. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Give him 3 on the gain there, 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and goal.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
52, Browns nothing.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
On first down, it's Howard, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Jarvis Landry, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Ah, yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from their first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. On third down, it's Hill, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Now Landry. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over first and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
The tally there, -8 yards. Leads to 4th down as well.
Well, it wasn't so much that it looked like the offense was threatening. They were. I mean, they had great field position, but how about the defense on that one? Huge stop on 3rd down. It wasn't just a stop. Look at the loss of yardage, and it changes the play calling and the thought process for the offense now. Big-time play for the D, and now they have the advantage.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Ravens, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here